What's a good thing this car has its four-way flashes on, its four-ways on, because otherwise I wouldn't know that he was stopped there for no reason. It's like, what do they do? They had that accident, those cars like totaled, and they're like, well, if we're gonna park in the middle of the road, we better put our four-ways on, just to let people know that we're not, you know, just sightseeing, or we're not getting ready to move again. It's like putting your signal light on as you drive off a cliff or something, as you get run off the road. I hated that laugh just then. Speaking of mentally taxing, I normally when I didn't plan on doing this road today. I was going to do a different road, and so I didn't. Normally when I'm doing roads, these bigger roads, I bring my GPS and it warns me of speed cameras, but I didn't plan on doing this road today. I was planning on doing a different mountain road, so I didn't bring my GPS. And then the mountains are like overly crowded today, so I said fuck it. He's taking photos of who? Cyclists or bikers? I guess the cyclists. Speaking of photos, let's get my knee down. I'm not gonna, this is too much traffic. I can, sure. There's a corner up ahead. I can make it. I can make this corner. I can do it. Knee down. Come on. Oh, I missed it. This one. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. I'm over. I'm off the bike. I'm almost touching that wall. I was like, I'm not gonna knee down. I'm gonna knee sideways against that freaking divider in the middle. That wasn't good. Yeah, I've been having fun with the whole knee down thing. You know, I got people that mock me. They're like, you think that's something? You think you're something because you can get your knee down? And the answer is yes. Yes, I do. Why? Because, it's a new thing for me. I've only been doing it for I've been riding motorcycles for a long time, and I've just recently I've done it before, but I've just recently gotten comfortable with it at the point where I can just pretty much anywhere. As demonstrated by my not doing it just then. I can pretty much just anywhere do it. It's just fun. It's just a gimmick. It's just it's almost like like I had one guy pointing out to me. He's like, it's not a skill. It's not a skill. You know, I know guys that get their knee down all the time and they're slow as hell, and I don't get my knee down and I'm lapping them on the racetrack. And I'm like, well, first of all, you're confusing skill with the word fast. Like they're not synonymous. Wheeling, doing a wheelie is a skill. It's an amazing skill. It's like if you do it a little bit too high, you flip the bike and you fucking break your back and the bike gets totaled, etc. and so forth. That's fucking, you're playing with fire every single time you do it. That's a skill, and not anyone can do it, and it takes practice to do it. And it's and a lot of these things that I'm describing right now are also in common with getting your knee down, in the sense that not everyone can do it. It takes practice to do it. I wouldn't say there's danger involved. Like with wheeling, there's a lot of danger. Not with knee down. Not really. I've never seen anyone just try to get their knee down and slide off the bike. I'm sure it's happened, but it's not common, like people overdoing wheelies. That's pretty common. Anyways, yeah, so different topic now. Yeah, it's just so yeah, I'm like, it's a skill. It's a riding skill, but it's just one of many. It doesn't mean you are skilled per se. It doesn't mean that you're the best. It doesn't mean that you're fast. It's just something. It's just one of many skills or tricks that cyclists that bikers can do with a bit of practice. That's all. Doesn't mean that I'm saying, well, I'm super fast and badass because I can. No, it's just there's just been many times in the past where I've been riding, especially on this road right now that I'm turning onto. There's been many times in the past where I'm riding along this road, and a biker will come and pass me, and then get his knee down all the way around the bend. And I'm always just like, that's cool, and because I couldn't do it. And now that I can do it, I'm pleased with myself, and I'm practicing it. I'm working on getting more and more comfortable doing it. I'm working on being able to do it in different types of corners and bends and whatnot. And then I get hate for it, and it's just like, what? But yeah, like some guys are saying, they're like, it's not a skill. It's not a skill. Of course it is. Things that are, this truck, okay? Things that are not a skill are things that take no practice to do. That's what I mean. The definition of skill is something you need to practice to be able to do, pretty much. I don't know if that's the exact definition, but like anything. If you can fucking twirl a pen really fast, like some people, like Asians especially, they'll sit in class and they'll just kind of like twirl their pen, and that's a skill. It's a pen spinning skill. You know, if you can fucking, I don't know, if you can take an egg and balance it on one of its points, that's a skill. If you can stick a spoon to your nose and for a longer period of time than everyone else consistently, then that's a skill. If you can stick a spoon to your nose, that's not a skill, because everyone can do that. If you can do it longer than everyone else, just became a skill because you're doing it better than everyone else. Or better than most people. If you can do something better than most people, or if it's something that you need to practice to be able to achieve, then that's a skill. So I had these two racers on my Facebook page, and I'm not knocking them. They were being polite. They were just confused. They were just trying to explain that getting your knee down doesn't necessarily mean that you're riding the best or the fastest. And yeah, I totally understand that, and I totally agree. Although, you know, just because A is C and B is C doesn't mean that A is B. But a lot of the time it is true. You know, a lot of the time A is B. But just because A is C and B is C doesn't mean that A is B. But a lot of the time in those kind of situations, A is B. A is equal to B, but just not always, not necessarily. And what I mean by that is, just because you get your knee down doesn't mean that you're fast. But in general, the people that I see on a regular basis getting their knee down are generally very, very fast. So even though, even though there isn't a direct correlation between knee down and speed, there is an indirect correlation, because they're both in the same neighborhood of skill sets, kind of thing. Every time I go up this hill here, and I've mentioned this before, I have to. I get nervous, because I came up here. I came flying up this road one time at high speeds, and at the top, right underneath this bridge here, there was a guy with an M16 pointed at me. M16 machine gun. It was a cop, and then there were some other cops, and they pulled me over for speeding, and they had me doing like over 4 times the speed limit, and they just let me off with a warning, which was nice. But they definitely wanted me to stop. Anyways, yeah, so that's it. So what's this? This is a group. I'm going to join this group. I'm just going to join it. I don't even know them. Okay, guys. That was a good break. Are we going to get riding again? So yeah. I'm just going to, I'm going to work on multicam videos. I'm going to work on videos where it's less humming and hawing and just babbling on, and I'll just cut and piece together the interesting bits, etc. and so forth. I was doing some interesting bits today that I'm going to stitch together as well. Okay, so for those of you that are still with me, I thank you and I appreciate you. I got a lot of stress in my life right now because I'm having financial difficulties, and I'm really worried about my future, and more so my son's future. But I have some ideas in the works, and hopefully everything will come together in the end.